Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge Reviews.
I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing here of Dungeons and Dragons, the Legend of Drizzt board game. I just want to show you the components of it. I'll do a full review one day. But I think this is a really neat series that maybe, I don't know if it gets enough of a pub for how good it is or the quality of it. You know, it gets overshadowed by Descent to me a lot. First thing you notice is that it's a pretty good sized box. It's pretty thick. You know, I have an average sized guy's hand. It's pretty big. No Donald Trump jokes about my hand, please. The artwork is phenomenal in it. This isn't the last in the series, but I think, if memory serves, this is considered one of the best ones in the series. So let's take a look at the components. And you know, whenever you get a box top this thick, I can put my whole hand in there, that there's going to be a lot of goodies inside. So let's take a look and see what's inside. Mine may not be the best organized, but let's take a look at it. Dungeons and Dragons Legend of Drizzt board game. This is not the smallest of rule books. Now what this is the adventure book. So what you're going to get here is a bunch of adventures you can go on. And there aren't any spoilers, so don't worry about that. So that's what you get there. Now what you're going to get here is the actual rule book. And it's going to be quite a few pages of small print. About 15 pages, 16 if you include the FAQ on the back. But there are some pictures. The rules are pretty good. It's not a difficult system. You know, I kind of wish maybe there was an app for this also, like you're starting to see with Descent. But the rule book is fairly good. Now, what are we going to get here? Now, all my miniatures, for the most part, are going to be painted. And I'll kind of show you what I have in this box. And we'll pull all this stuff out and take a look at it. First thing I want you to look at, though, because I'm going to move this, is the insert. There's a place for the cards and the goodies. I got everything bagged up. These tiles are placed in here pretty good. So the insert's actually fairly functional. Let's take a look at what we have here. We're going to have some collapsible tunnel tiles. I don't know if I have mine bagged up the best, but the cardboard in here is pretty good. You can see that this is a rock slide there. So the artwork is really good. On the other side just tells you in plain letters what's in there, and that's pretty nice. So you're gonna get a lot of little tokens like this. I don't think we need to go through every single one to get the point across, but you'll see that it lacks a lot of artwork, but it's very functional for healing surge and some of these stance. Some of these things you're getting poisoned. It's very text heavy, but very functional just the same. I'm going to take some of this out of the plastic bag. I'm not going to show you every component. I just kind of wanted you to see it and be able to look at it a little bit. Volcanic fault. Now you have a little bit of artwork on here. This trap tile counts as the volcanic vent tile. Each hero within one tile of volcanic vent tile takes 1 damage. Disable on a roll of 10 plus. So this is very heavy on, you know, rolling dice and attacking and stuff. But the tiles are really nice. Those are fairly thick. The lack of art and theme on some of this stuff may interest people, but I kind of like it, and I think it's very user-friendly when you're looking at this kind of stuff. So I think that it could have been beautified just a tad bit more, but it isn't. But what you have is functional. Let's look at some of these tiles that we have here. I'll just pull out a handful and show you some of these so you can take a look at them. Now what we have here, we have Borner, he's a hero. Artemis and Terry, I know I'm mispronouncing, he's a monster. You have a Charge. There's another monster. Shimmer Gloom. Okay, and so what you do a lot of times is you'll randomly pull these out, and then you'll go grab the miniatures, which will be put on the actual board. And that's really kind of a neat way to do it. But these tiles, I mean, everything you get is quality is very high in this game from a quality standpoint. Let me show you some of these. Just a couple of them. These are tiles that will come out, kind of fill the board up. One side has the wording, and then one side has the theme. And you'll use these with different scenarios. So these are kind of the tiles that you'll use, just to kind of round out the edges, if you will. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the cards. So you have treasure cards. I'm not going to show you every single card. I just want you to get a look at it. I think the card a little flimsy. If you maybe average is what I would pull these at. You'll notice the cards like a lot of artwork, which is weird for Dungeons and Dragons. It has so much artwork. But these are treasures that you get. So play immediately. Choose one hero. That hero immediately uses an attack power. So that's a treasure that you would have. Place this 2 secret tunnel tokens on any 2 squares. For the rest of the game, whenever a hero ends, the hero face on a square containing a secret tunnel token, that hero can be placed on an unoccupied square adjacent to the other secret tunnel. So that's pretty neat. And then you're going to have individual cards for each character. Here's the swashbuckler. Here is the rogue. I'll just show you a couple of these. These are weapons that you can get and upgrades and stuff. Your attack, your damage. Let me see if I can show something a little different with the ranger here. Inspirational strike. Attack one adjacent monster. So it just kind of, this is what makes the characters more unique. Here's a fighter. Counter strike stance. Use instead of attacking. Place your stance token on this card. You can remove your stance token from this card when an adjacent monster attacks your hero. So these are going to be the unique cards that you'll be able to utilize to kind of make your person original. And while it's not a role-playing game, you definitely can role-play in this game. Let me show you a few more cards. So here's some monster cards. This is what they would look like. And what you'll do is you'll put the miniature on the board and you'll use this as a reference to what you're fighting. So let's say you ran into a hunting party. This is an event. Draw 2 more monster cards and play them both. You might fall into a water elemental. He has AC of 12, 2 hit points. And kind of what he does. And you would just kind of look at that as a reference point. Let's look at another one. A feral troll. So, and I'll show you this miniature in just a few minutes. So that's what you would do with the monster cards. And there's a whole bunch of those in the game. I mean, your variety that comes in one of these boxes. Here's an encounter card. Cave Fisher's Lair. Draw a top from the bag of the Dungeon Trial stack. There's a lot of variability in these cards, and there's a lot of unique things that will come out. So every time you play, it won't be the same game, even inside of the same missions. That's very much appreciated when you're playing a game like this. And here's some more of the villains for the different levels. So let me just show you one. Here's the Shadow Dragon, which is pretty big, right? 15 AC, 12 hit points. What he does on his turn. And then the other side would be another character. So all of these are double-sided to give you a lot of variety. Now these are the characters that you will play. There's Drizzt himself, or herself, whichever one it is. Wolfgar. So this is mainly how the game will be utilized through this. A lot of it's based on a 20-sided die. Should be a shock to no one. But let's take a look at some of these miniatures. And these are just hit point tiles and different monster attack tokens. What you really want to see are the miniatures, right? So here's what one would look like unpainted, and here, well, I guess there's some kind of a base on it, but here's one all painted up from my collection, and this is actually a group of them that I'll be. You also get some pretty cool miniatures in this game. Now mine are in different forms of being painted, so that may interest you or not, but this is more what it would look like when you got it. It just has, I think there's still been a little bit of a wash put on it, or whatever you call it, initial primer, but the details are great. I don't think, I mean, geez, if you were complaining about miniatures like this, I don't know, I can't imagine somebody. Here's a little dragon that comes in it. It's pretty neat. Not like the big one that come in a shard on, but it's a pretty neat little guy. He's got a lot of detail into him. Let me see. I think this one's been painted fully, at least to somebody's standards. I bought this one pre-owned from somebody. Let's take a look at some more of these miniatures. The miniatures in this game, once again, these are in different levels of being painted, so you can still see the detail on them. Look at that hair going up. I mean, I just think they're really good. Somebody might be rolling their eyes at me as I say this, but it's half man, half spider thing. You got a cougar in this one. I don't know if I'm going to take the time to show you everything, but here's one that's I think is fairly well painted. I didn't paint these, so I'm not being arrogant about it, but I think it's pretty cool. Let me try to find you some different pieces here. I'm going to try to find you a piece painted and a piece not painted. Let's show you this dinosaur. There's a little small dragon that comes with it. And here's some kind of piece there, some kind of ghost or ghoul or something. I'm sure they all have proper names. I apologize. I don't know them. But I think you can see that if you were willing to take the time to paint it, they're going to come out pretty amazing, actually. Here's some kind of undead or up to no good type person. Heck, Rhino, that's one of the heroes. Here's one. I'm not showing you this to show off the paint job. This is not a paint job that I think is fantastic. I'm just trying to show you the molds and what you would get in the game. And maybe show some of us amateurs, you know, what it could look like. I mean, when you put this on a table and you're not up close, it looks a lot better, of course. And I think that one looks pretty good. Let's see what else we have here. I mean, there's so many different kind of molds. You get a ton in this game. And I find the price to be pretty good for what you get, actually. That guy has an eye patch. And you get... These kind of monsters always just crack me up. They're just like goo. What is this, water or something? I don't know. I guess after a while you run out of neat, strong ideas for things. And there's a lot more characters than just this. I mean, I could show you miniatures for quite a while. I don't know if this is interesting or not, being in different levels of being painted. Here's another one of those goblin. I think these guys are called goblins. They're green like goblins, right? Goblins are green. I think this guy looks really neat. I like him quite a bit. There's no shortage of these miniatures. I'm going to pick up a bunch. I'll put them all over here in frame, so maybe you can take a look at them. This excludes the big ones that I showed you. So there's a whole bunch here that can be painted up and they'll look really nice. And that's the Legends of Drizzt. This kind of what you get in the box is kind of what I showed you. And I hope this gives you kind of an idea of what comes in the box. Maybe that you would like it based on the components. And watch out for the future review from Purge Reviews.